Hello, doodads and dudettes. I've heard it said many times that if you're a retro YouTuber, you ain't really a retro YouTuber until you've repaired a Commodore 64 and recorded it for everyone to watch. So I'm going to start out with, I've got 4 of them laying here. I'm going to triage them. I do not have a lot of parts. I have some parts. I have at least one of every main chip, so I can swap out chips. Other than that, I might have one set of RAM for the 8-bank. I have 0 logic chips. So I'm going to triage. I'm going to go through every one of these, test voltages, probably break out the oscilloscope, look for the reset signal, make sure I've got the clock right, and then give my suggestions on what I think might be the problem. And I'll look to see what your suggestions are as well of what might be the problem. Then I'll order all the parts I think I need, and I will, when it comes to the point that I have to order a part, I will order at least double, so I've got extras. So stick around. Let's do this.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 8-bit doodads time!
Well, the first thing I need to do is make sure my video capture and everything is set up properly. And I have a working system. This is my main daily use. Well, I wouldn't say daily. I don't use a Commodore 64 on a daily basis, but this is my go-to right now. It's got a white keyboard. No idea what the origin of this is. It does have an FCC ID, so it came from North America. All of the Commodore equipment that we will be looking at over the coming months, almost all of it came in through the e-waste stream that I was fortunately able to interrupt, and now I have it, and we're going to make some videos out of it. First up is a Commodore 64C, and I've already tested my video capture, so let's see what we get. Well, we get power to there. Looks like we get black screen. Okay, I'm going to rip this bad boy apart and pull the motherboard out, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, all the date codes look to be, there's 18th week of 88, middle of 88, 28th week of 88, 88, 88, 88. So they're all looking to be about the same time frame. The back looks like nobody has worked on this thing, so that might very well be a plus. Capacitors look good. I see nothing visual. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in and we'll give it a dead test. Switch over to the monitor. Well, we're getting a single flash. I'm going to try it again. See if we get the same result. Single flash. Yep. Well, I've left this plugged in and running for quite a bit. I'm going to assume that it's the RAM. I know the dead test isn't always accurate, but since I'm trying to triage and get some parts ordered so I can start working on these things, they're not warm at all. In fact, it's like there's not like they're not even running. Some of the other chips have a little bit of warmth to them. That's probably the warmest, but I mean not overly hot. So that's what I'm going to call it for this one right now. I'm going to order the RAM that I need for this in case that's it. I'll know once I get it in. On to the next machine. Okay, I labeled the other one number 1, set it to the side, wrote up my parts list. Let's try this next one. It looks very unassuming. Made in the USA again. No screws in the bottom. Oh boy. Let me even look and see if it's all there before I even... Yes, it does look to be all there. Plug it in. And I'll get my dead test. Well, let's just try it on first. Well, fancy that. That one works. I'm going to go ahead and hook up the diagnostic harness and put it through its paces, and then I can move this machine off to somebody else. It does have a... It's kind of shattered right there. Oh. It's kind of shattered right here. I don't know how well you can see it, but like something heavy fell on it at some point in time. Alright, let me get the harness. User ports testing okay now. Alright. I'm going to call this one good. I do not have any audio hooked up, so I have no idea if the SID works. Okay, we'll button that one up. We're going to call number 2 is good. Alright, number 3 we have broken key. Nothing whatsoever. No video. No black screen. It's just nothing. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to go ahead and remove it and we'll get started. Well, that was interesting. I opened this thing up and I've never in my life seen so much heat sinking compound all over a computer. I cleaned it as best as I could so far. I don't know if you can see just literally how much was just caked everywhere. Okay, well, we got that. I'm going to start with checking some voltages. Helps if I turn the power on. 5.08, I like that. 12.17, I like that as well. Okay, so I have no clock out at the CPU. There is no data running. The CPU does reset. So, I'm going to swap this VIC-2 chip out. And if I can find a spare of the 7701, they're both socketed, I will swap that one out as well. Okay, I grabbed a replacement out of machine number 2 that we just verified was working. This is an 8701 rather than a 7701, but it should work. Cross my fingers. Oh, let me switch over. Hey. Okay, I guess that's the part I need to add to my list. And I will, I'll be right back here in just a moment and close this thing up. Alright, that wraps that one up. I like that. Woohoo! Make sure I don't use that chip again. I need to start one of them dead parts bins, like Adrian's got. Okay, number 3, I need a 7701 or equivalent. And this one's going to be ready to go. Well, let's take a look at one more. Okay, we're going to start machine number 4. It is filthy. Broken. That's just the broken keycap, so the stem is still good on that one, but and look at the filth. Looky. There's tape over the Commodore. Let's call it number 4. I'm going to give it a quick. I get no power LED. Oh. Well, at least we get a black screen. That's probably means the VIC-2 is good. All right, I'm going to open this thing up and start poking around. Oh boy. All right, before I plug in the dead test, I'm going to take a couple of voltage readings here, but make sure got that going good and strong. 12.08, 4.97. Yeah, let's look for right voltage at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4.79. Good enough for me to plug in that dead test, see what we can figure out. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of things that are socketed. PLA is socketed, which is good. The SID is not. All the RAM is socketed, and there are lots of different brands. And oddly enough, these muxers are socketed. One CIA is socketed, and it's got a date code of 88, where the rest of the board is 83 and 84. Okay, let's get the dead test. Switch view. Oh. Well, we're not getting any RAM flickers. All right, let's take a look at the clock out. 1.02 megahertz, that's looking good. Let's check that reset. Should come slightly higher and then go to high. That's looking good. I'm going to check some temperatures, see if there's anything getting abnormally hot. Ooh, that VIC is kind of warm. But I don't think it's the problem. Doesn't mean it's not. No, I don't think that's out of line for the VIC. All right, let's jump into a little further troubleshooting. Well, I was going to start doing a little bit of probing, but then I realized I missed a couple of steps. I'm going to pop the only socketed chip I can really pop out, run the dead test. I'm also going to pop out the PLA and the VIC, hit them with some deoxit, and then quite possibly try a known working set of those two chips, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm also going to go ahead and pull this out of its case as well. Okay, let's start with this CIA. This has obviously been replaced. I might have said it before. It's been 2 days since I've been working on this, so I don't remember what I've noticed and reported on or not. Oh, that's a horrible socket. Oh, that's a horrible socket. Well, that's all I can pull, and let's see what's going on. Okay, same behavior. Let me pull these out. And try some different chips in them. Let's start with the oh, another horrible socket. I would not be surprised if I need to replace some of these sockets. Another Moss branded one. Well, it seats in there nice. Looks like we still have the same behavior. It's kind of warm. I'm going to go ahead and put the original back in with a little bit of deoxit. It didn't really crack or anything when it was coming out, so it didn't. Okay. No bent pins. Try it just for the heck of it. No difference. All right, let's try the VIC. Oh boy. I got no Vicks. I have no Vic chip. Okay, I'm going to have to trust that that's working. Or I'll pull one from another machine, but it's acting like it's working. Let's go ahead and I'll get the oscilloscope fired up and we'll start testing some things. Okay, a little bit of an update. I did place the VIC-2 chip into another computer. It works. We know the PLA works and the CIA also works. But there's a couple things that concern me. This socket and this socket are those ones with horrible, just little teeny tiny holes in them that I have had problems with in the past. This one might be as well. Nah, I don't think that one is. But the two multiplexers, those are the same sockets. Here, it's got extra holes, so maybe you can see what type of socket I'm talking about. They actually used the wrong size socket. So before I go any further, I'm going to order a bunch of sockets. I'm going to try to get me a few other spare parts while I'm doing some ordering. But I'm going to replace that socket, those two sockets. But one other funny thing, I popped a couple of the RAM chips out to see what kind of sockets were in there. Those were actually a little better. I'll check every one though. I still had the dead test plugged in, and the dead test did not flash that there was a RAM problem. So I pulled another one out. Still no flashing that there was a RAM problem. So before I go any further, I'm going to do what I just talked about, order a bunch of stuff, and this will continue once I get all my parts in. So I'm going to wrap up this episode right now. And if you like, subscribe. I'm going to keep working on these. I should be able to clear, well, we cleared one. I should be able to clear 2 more the next time I come out, and we'll introduce a couple more. So we'll just keep doing a round robin kind of thing. Thank you for watching.